One media house, and we have had a very long discussion with them over that. One, they did not even look at the guidelines, what the code says about use of AI, because if we are going, the code does not ban. You can use a photo of an, but say that this is an AI generated photo. You know, disclose. One, I know they are trying to use that because they are not paying their photographers. I don't, you know, which is a very wrong, lazy strategy. But the guidelines say very well where you have. It's not journalistic. Look at even the 2-3 photos. One of the newspapers has used AI the last 2 days. You saw them, yes. The president, Sifuna, yes. And you can see there's no humanity. You know Sifuna, you know the president. You look at that photo and say, "You got it quite serious." You know, it's leading to lack of credibility and trust in that newspaper simply because of using AI. Because I know, and the first time I checked, I was having a discussion with the editor, saying, "Naona kama tumeadapt you," but you are asking them, AI. We have said it many times, does not have the ability to bring the human face in a story. Humanity is not there. AI has no emotions. AI, you know, so that when you are using those photos, and you saw those photos, the president and Sifuna, the last headlines they had, you can see unafikiria ni wagonjwa wamefura, you know, and you are saying, but I saw the president just the other day, or Sifuna, I saw him, he doesn't look like this. So do I trust that newspaper anymore? You see, you start saying, na hii gazeti ya fulani kweli inakaa si hiyo. So you see, you start losing trust, and even readers from that who think somebody has mimicked your newspaper. You see, but this disclosure is a requirement, even in global standards. If you have used AI, a photo, you must disclose that this is AI generated. That's the professional bit.
But there's this debate to remove the requirement for the IEBC to live stream polling station results. As the council, where do you sit with that?
We go back to the political part, the Elections Act, and they provide, it's a constitutional experience. There's the minor KI case, and what, and the case people have gone to court, and this thing has been ruled on. So this idea, IBC said they are not the ones behind that. That's what they said. We had a discussion, and they said it's Parliament that is trying. But obviously, that's a very misadvised move in the current era, that while people are going for more openness, transparency, and accountability in electoral processes, that you would want to stop such. It's not a move that is consistent with the openness, with fairness and accountability. So I'm sure we had a discussion on IBC, and they said they're not the ones who put in that. And I'm sure elsewhere people will go to court, including maybe journalistic institutions, to challenge that, because that then will take us back 100 years again. We had made serious strides in terms of openness in our elections. You know, so when again you start going back, then because there is also attempt around changing the access to information regulations, again also very funny provisions which might not be, the country has moved too far that when you start behaving in a particular way, then people are wondering huyu mtu anaishi wapi. That one obviously Media Council can't support because we push for more openness, we push for journalists to be allowed to get in part of the MOU that the Kenya Media Sector Working Group signed with the IBC was around allowing access to information, access to data, access to what IBC is doing. So, and part of the bigger project we are launching next week in Nakuru, the election countdown. It's 12 months to elections. And part of it is the openness in a big way, the training of journalists, the launch of the election guidelines. I mean, that will be happening, and IBC has been invited. We also have an MOU with IBC, and part of it, IBC is putting up, by the way, an information, a media hub at the office, where journalists can go and get frequent updates on elections. We are allowing our the Media Council has media hubs across a few counties. We are allowing journalists to use those, and IBC staff, especially the regional staff, to go and give information to journalists so that there's frequent uninterrupted flow of information on key priority areas. So one, we will have a big media center, also a Media Council, an information source. And much of the information will become from IBC and political, because those are now the key people, the information journalists need preparation, sir. So that will be the bigger election preparedness project. We will have editors, even your own editors to come. We will be signing the commitment. All media house leadership will be asked to sign a commitment that they will follow those guidelines, which will obviously now will be followed with massive trainings of journalists on elections. A minimum of 4,000 to 10,000 journalists to be trained. Accreditation we must enhance. We now have a relationship with IBC. If you apply for an accreditation from IBC, they access Media Council's database to check if you are an accredited journalist. So that is happening. Training, train of trainer. We'll pick maybe 1 or 2 from here. We train properly. Who will then be training the others here? Because obviously Media Council cannot train all journalists or media houses. But we'll pick from leading institutions, KUJ, Editors Guild, Amwix, all. They will give us a few people to train. Then who will then train the others? In the media houses, you will give us, but there are some Media Council will do big focus, including on gender, the issue of AI you mentioned, live transmission, the issue of safety and protection of journalists, the issue of responsible, conflict-sensitive reporting will be the key issues in the training. So be ready to be trained and learn. We don't just want to come here to tick a box that we trained the TV47 guys, but they are not applying what we taught them. So we hope that you guys are open to learning. We are not saying you don't know anything, but we are saying there are also a few things that have changed. The electoral laws, the AI are new things, user-generated content are new things that we need to help journalists. Obviously borrowing from other countries that have already, we observed the election in other countries. And so how, for example, the issue of fact-checking, we are forming a network of fact-checkers for newsrooms so that the situation room where all newsrooms have access, that information, somebody can throw information and you quickly check. And that's why once you start the election reporting desk, your team leader there or will be part of that team so that you can easily get correct information.
You know, I was looking at my phone and I've seen a question that has come in here, that if elections are won through narratives, not manifestos, who holds more power in 2027? Politicians or the media that amplifies them? This is from Kelvin and is commenting from X.
Thanks. And that's the question, that if media has a big